and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to take you step by step, click by click, and show you everything you need to do to create a Space Invaders game using ScratchJr on your tablet or phone. We're going to create a custom background. We're going to build an army of aliens and code them so that they move together and descend down onto Earth. We're going to create a rocket that fires a laser bolt. We're going to create a joypad that moves the rocket left and right and also shoots this laser bolt. We're going to build a scoreboard that also updates every time that your laser bolt hits an alien. We're also going to create two end screens. One, if you're successfully able to defend the Earth and destroy all the aliens. And a second one, if, unfortunately, the aliens land on Earth. All you need to achieve any of this is the free ScratchJr app on either your phone or tablet. To get the best results from this video, follow along on either a TV, tablet, phone, or any screen which you can access YouTube, and pause after each step. I highly recommend you go through this video first, step by step, and actually make the game yourself. Then watch the video again with the child you're teaching. This will make it easier for you to guide them because you'll be familiar with the steps. This video is 100% child friendly with no banned language or inappropriateness. I will be sharing this actual video with the parents, carers and children in my class. If you do need any extra help or have any questions, please leave a comment below or via the contact details on my website, email me and I will answer you as quickly as I can. Okay, let's get started. So let's open up Scratch on our iPad, create a new project, and let's delete kitten so that we're starting with a blank page. The first thing we want to do is create our background. So we go to the background button, go to the blank option and press the paint option so that we can create our own. So basically what we want here is a black background. So we've selected black, press the paint pot button there for fill and fill the background black. So that's going to be essentially space. We want a section at the bottom where we can add our joypad and our scoreboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to a white colour, select the create square or rectangle function there, go 3 squares from the bottom and start in the corner, drag it all the way across and all the way down to the very bottom of the screen and let go. Then I'm going to fill that in white and that should be enough space for us. Press the tick button and there is our space background with a white strip at the bottom for us to add our joypad, scoreboard and anything else we want to add. Next we're going to create our aliens. So we're going to go to the plus character button there. We're going to scroll down and we're going to find our friend Tack. Now we're going to select Tack and then we're going to press the paint option and we're going to modify Tack so they look a little bit more like an alien. So I'm going to go for the classic green alien. So I have selected the paint pot fill function there. I'm going to go for that green there and I'm just going to press on Tack so that they turn green. I'm now going to press the tick button and there is Tack. I'd like to make Tack a bit smaller. So I'm going to purple category, select the shrink block and press it twice. Now I want to put the grid on. So I want to have 10 aliens. So I'm going to move Tack to the middle of the screen. Next, what I'm going to do is add some more aliens. So I go back to the plus button. I'm going to click once again on the modified Tack, press the tick button, and there you go. I'm going to again use the shrink block, press it twice and move that one next to the first Tack that we did. I'm going to continue doing this until I have 10 aliens. Now you've got your 10 aliens, you might want to try to line them up as best you can. The idea is that they're going to move as a unit. So if you can get them as in line as you can, that'll be really, really useful. Now we've added all our aliens and they're as in line as we want them to be. We're going to start to code them. So scroll back up to the first alien and we're going to start to drag some blocks down to build the code. So first of all, I'm going to go to the green flag block. I'm going to move this shrink block out of the way for now. We don't really need it. Next, I'm going to go to the orange category and get a wait block. How we want the aliens to move is we want them to wait, move across right, wait, go down, wait, and then left. So they're going to progressively get closer and closer to the bottom of the screen. So I go to the blue category, select a right block, then again, select the wait block, back to the blue category, because now we want them to go down. Then we're going to go back to the wait block again. And then we want them to go back to the left. And we want this pattern of movement to go on forever. So we're going to use the continue forever block. Also, what we want the aliens to do, and we're preparing a little bit for the future now, is we want them to disappear when they are bumped by the laser when it hits them. So what we're also going to do is go to the yellow category, select the start on bump block, go to the purple category and select the disappear block. In addition to this, we do want the scoreboard to move. Even if you don't add a scoreboard initially, you may want to in the future. So it's worth building the code so it's ready. So what I'm going to do is go to the yellow category and select the send message block. And we're going to leave it as orange because that's going to signal to the scoreboard to increase by 1 when the alien is hit by the laser. So we've created the code now. And now we can copy it across onto the other aliens because they're all going to do exactly the same and have exactly the same code. So all we do is we click onto the code, hard press on it, drag it up, and then let it go. Same with the second piece of code we've made. So then when I go to the second alien, you can see they've got exactly the same code. The hide block is hiding a little bit behind there. Sorry, the resize block is hiding a little bit there. And we're going to do the same again. So to the third alien, hard press and drag the code onto there. And there you can see it once again. So again, hard press to the fourth alien. And we just keep going. I like to click on the alien I've done to make sure it's copied across properly and we haven't missed anything. So we've added code to all 10 aliens. Okay, now let's test the aliens and see if they move correctly together as a unit. So I'm going to press the green flag. And you can see we've missed adding the code to one of the aliens. The good news is that the bump function is working and the aliens are disappearing when they touch something. So that's great. So let's stop that. Reset. Who's this guy? Okay, so there's the guy that doesn't have any code added to them. So let's drag that onto there. Fantastic. Let's check they've got their code. Brilliant. So let's try that again. They all should move now when I press the green flag. They wait, down, cross. Fantastic. And you can see on screen, the blocks are highlighting as they are being activated. So that's a really nice way of understanding what the blocks are doing. And you can see it work in real time. That is pretty cool. Next, we're going to add our rocket. So let's go to the plus character function again. Scroll down. Let's find the rocket. Select it and then press the tick button. Fantastic. Now it's really, really big. So let's make that smaller. Get the shrink block again. And notice how the aliens are moving when they're touching the rocket. Let's go one more. Oh, is that a bit small? A bit small. Let's make that bigger. There you go. Fantastic. So now let's get rid of these. We've got our rocket in position. So next we have to code the rocket. But before we do that, I just want to make the aliens appear again. So I'm just going to hit the reset button there. So we're now going to code the rocket. We want the rocket to do two things: move left and move right. So we're going to go to our yellow category. We're going to select the start on message block. And we're going to select one to be green and the second one to be blue. We're then going to add the movement we want the rocket to make when it receives the green or blue message. So for green, we want it to move left, and for blue, we want it to move right. Now we need to start to make our joypad that will allow us to press a button that sends a message to the rocket to move. So we need two buttons first of all, a green one and a blue one. So we go to our add character button, we'll go to our blank character, go to the paint option, and we're going to draw ourselves a button. I like square buttons, so I'm going to select the green option first of all and the square. So there's our green square. I'm going to fill that now by selecting the fill option and press on. I'm then going to press the tick button, and there it is. I'm going to bring this down to here in our joypad area. So there's the green button that's going to be our move left button, and I want to create our blue move right button now as well. So again, I go to the plus option. I'm going to click on the previous green button we've made, click on the paint option, go to blue, fill that with blue, and then press the tick. This ensures that both buttons are the same size. Not 100% necessary, but makes it look good. Now we need to code these buttons. So I'm going to go to the green button first of all. And what I want the green button to do is when I tap it, I want it to send a green message to the rocket. This green message, if you remember, when received by the rocket, will make the rocket move left. Next, I'm going to go to the blue button, exactly the same. Select the start on press button, and then select the send message and make sure that that is blue. So when I press the blue button, it will send a blue message to the rocket, and that blue message will make the rocket move right. So let's test it. Fantastic. And there's a good point there. Be careful when you're pressing your buttons because they do move. Similarly, if you hard press on them, you could delete one and lose all your code. And that's really, really upsetting. So let's re-add that. And recode it. There we go. So we've coded our left button and our right move button on our joypad. Next, we need to add to our joypad a button that allows us to fire the laser. So again, I'm going to go to the plus character button. I'm going to select the same button previously, but edit it in the paint function, and I'm going to change it to a red color using the fill option. I'm going to press the tick button, and I'm going to move this to the left hand side of the screen, and that's going to be our fire laser button. Similar to how we coded the left button and the right move button, I need to add code to this. So I'm going to again go to the yellow category, press the start on touch block, select the send message block, and I'm going to change that to red. Next, we need to create a character that represents the laser. So I'm going to go to my plus character button again, once again to the blank character option, and press the paint. Now I'm going to draw myself a laser bolt or beam, whatever you prefer. I'm going to make mine yellow. I'm going to use the free draw option, and I'm going to make it look a bit like that. I'm now going to fill it, and there we go. I'm going to press the tick button, and there is my laser beam or bolt. It's really important that we make this as small as we can and make sure it's just wide enough to be realistic in being shot from the rocket. So that's perfect. Now we need to code the laser beam or laser bolt. So first things first, we're going to code so that when it receives the red message, it firstly appears. Then what we want it to do is to move up towards the aliens. Now I'm going to turn the grid on so we can see how far we want it to go. So it's currently at 9. The top of the screen on the vertical axis is 15. So if we ask it to move 5, then it will stay on the screen. We then want the beam or bolt to disappear, and then we need to reset it back in its original position. So we're going to use a down arrow that is also 5 so that it goes back to its original position. So what we can do is give that a test. Fantastic. So you can see that it appears when we press the red button, moves forward 5, disappears, then comes back. Fantastic. And once again, we've tested the aliens there. Once they get touched, they disappear. So let's reset and add the next part of the code of the laser beam. Because we want the laser beam to look like it's coming out of the rocket when the red button is pressed, it's really important that we keep the laser beam or laser bolt in line with the rocket at all times. So what we want to make sure it does, it reacts exactly the same as the rocket does to the blue or green button being pressed. Therefore, we go back to the yellow category again and we select 2 act on message blocks, one that is green, and turn one to blue, and then we go to our movement blocks and make sure that they are set up exactly the same as the rocket. So what we want to happen is when we press the green button, both the rocket and the laser bolt move left, and when we press the blue button, both the rocket and the laser beam move right. Let's give it a test. Fantastic. Fantastic. So when we press the buttons, green or blue, both the rocket and the laser beam or laser bolt behave in exactly the same way. Fantastic. Now we've successfully made all the elements to make a basic Space Invaders game. So let's give it a test. So I'm going to turn the grid lines off. Let's go full screen. Press the green flag to start the aliens, and then we're going to be moving around our rocket and shooting with our laser. So let's go. Fantastic. So let's stop it there. Go back to our small screen and reset. Couple of modifications we can make. We can move the rocket down slightly and the laser beam down slightly so that there's a little bit more space. We don't want the rocket and the laser beam touching because we're going to add an end of game screen which will involve the rocket being touched, and that resulting in us changing screens. Now we're going to add a scoreboard. And if you remember, if we go back to the code on our aliens, now they've all got an orange send message block in their code. So what we want to happen is when that is received, the score increases. So first I'm going to create the representation of the score that goes on the scoreboard. So I'm going to go to my add text function. I'm going to go to my emoji on my keyboard, and I'm going to go and find something that's appropriate. You can choose whatever you want. I like a green circle because I think it sort of represents the alien. So I'm going to add 10 circles with a space in between them. That's 2. Now that's too big. So I'm going to go back into there and select the size. Let's see the next size down. What does that do? Still a little big. Perfect. Oh, perfect. And what's nice about using, reset that a little bit. What's nice about using the text for this is it's not an object. So if anything touches it, it doesn't interfere with any of the other code. What I need to add now is something to point to or represent how many aliens have been hit. So I'm going to go to the plus character function again to the blank one, and use the paint function, and I'm going to create an arrow. So I'm going to use black, start with triangle, then use the rectangle option that looks in the middle, then go to my fill option, and there is my arrow. I'm going to press tick to add it and bring it down to here. I'm going to make it a lot smaller. Perfect. And there it is. So now I want to code this arrow. So I'll go to my the yellow section, go to my receive message function, go to the move category, and every time it receives an orange letter, it will move across 1. The orange letter will be sent once one of the aliens is hit and disappears. Let's just test that now. Fantastic. So if we just stop that a second, 3 aliens have been touched and the arrow has moved along 3. Next, we want to code a change of screen when the arrow gets to the 10th green circle. So first of all, let's reset. And there's everything back in its original position. What I want to do is I want to code the arrow so that when it is bumped, to start on bump, it moves to a second screen. So let's add our second screen here. Let's delete cat. Let's add the previous background we've made. And now let's add a victory message. Victory seems like a good idea. Let's make that really big. I quite like the green. What does that look like? Yeah, pretty cool. And then what we can do is go to our add character option. Again, the blank one to paint. Let's create a circle. And we can have a photo of ourselves, or me in this case, celebrating. So let's press that onto there. There we go. Happy victory face. Let's make that a bit bigger because we're celebrating. And there we go. Fantastic. So we go back to our first screen, go to our arrow character, and we've already got the start on bump block there. Let's add the change screen option there. So when the arrow bumps, it will change screens to victory, signaling that we've shot 10 aliens. We now need an object in there for it to bump against. It may bump against the green button there, but I think we can be a little bit more sophisticated than that. So let's go to here again. Let's once more go to our buttons that we've already used. Let's edit them in the paint option. Let's make it, if we make it white, and there it is, and smaller, we can then move it just below that 10th one, and it should bump into the arrow to signal that the program needs to change to the victory screen. So let's try. So green to start. Yes, it worked. Fantastic. So let's go back to our original screen, reset everything, and there we go. The final thing we want to do is add a screen if, unfortunately, the aliens do land. So how are we going to do this? What we can do is, if the rocket is touched by one of the aliens, that will trigger the program to switch to the aliens have landed screen. This is also the reason why we have the laser bolt in front of the rocket and not behind it. So let's go to our rocket. Let's add a start on bump block. We now add a third screen. We'll delete the cat. Again, let's use our background we've already used. Fantastic. And let's add some text. The aliens have landed. Again, let's turn that green. What does that look like? Fantastic. So let's go back to our original screen there. To our rocket code. Change screen. Okay, let's give that a test. Here they come. Fantastic. So when the rocket touched the aliens landed, essentially the game was over and we switched to this screen. Fantastic. I think it'll be quite nice if we add one of the aliens here. So let's do that. Let's make them a bit bigger. There we go. And let's add the green flag, which you don't need to press the green flag, but what it means is when we move to this screen, it will automatically start. And let's give the alien some movement blocks there, so they shuffle around a bit. Let's give that a test. Amazing. Look at that. Happy as anything to be here. So let's reset that. Go back. Reset again. Let's go full screen. Let's test that. Move across slightly so that the alien actually touches the rocket. Fantastic, great stuff. So let's test it now full screen. So here we go. So green to start. Let's get some of these aliens. Scoreboard's looking good. Oh, okay. So what happened there? So the rocket, can you see its tail fire touched the button and that signaled the program to trigger and go to the final screen. So what we need to do is move these down slightly. Let's move that one down as well so it's in line. Great, so let's try that again. Here we go. Green to start, let's go. Let's move all the way across. Fantastic. Oh, I'm doing well. Victory, fantastic, great stuff. Let's make that small. Go back to our initial thing and reset. Just before we finish, just a couple of things to consider and be wary of when doing this. So if you do hard press on something, there is an opportunity if you delete it. If you delete it, you lose all the code. There's no reset from that. Similarly, just to be aware, even in the full screen, you can move and hard press on objects. Congratulations and well done on building your Space Invaders game using ScratchJr. I hope you enjoyed the process and enjoyed the video. Please share with me any modifications you make to this game to make it even better. If you need any extra support or help, I'll add a link to my website in the description so that you can access additional tools, including a cheat sheet and the downloadable file. Once again, thanks for your time, and I'll see you next time. Bye.